Ready, set. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's your boy, the Wrestling Classic, Justin here, back with Rain City Toys, Arvy. And I say toys because he sells toys. This is his personal collection, but he's got all the toys you need if you're looking for toys. We're back for the TWC show, and for the first time in a while, we're actually both wearing Wrestling Classic for once.
Yeah.
This is the OG Wrestling Classic hoodies that I made.
Repping our brand.
The NWO print. They're the OG logo.
We gotta get these shirts
I need
back.
to make out to say I should bring the merch back. You know when people have like these and like those crop top hoodies, so like crazy, but like some people have that shirt. A bunch of my friends and people that I know bought these hoodies, these crew necks. But it goes
bring it back.
It goes back to the whole point that I was selling these. I knew what the margins was to buy it and how much I'd make off it, but I didn't really know how much money I was making at all after shipping and everything.
I know, we discovered that when we had that conversation.
And that was the issue. Well, I was selling stuff, I was getting money into my bank account, but I don't know if it was profitable in the big scheme of things. Especially when, look, this is the thing, I'll say this. I know it was profitable 2016, 17, 18, 19 for sure. Because I was already working somewhere else. I was always making other money. I was selling this stuff, making more money. The expenses weren't that bad because it was just drop ship and all this stuff. The issue was the pandemic when a lot wasn't happening for me. There wasn't that much money coming in. And I was selling merchandise and I'm paying out of pocket to get them produced. And I'm like, wait a minute. Is what I'm paying?
You had my figures on your website, remember?
Yeah, but I was like, is what I'm paying to get like this shirt printed in the pandemic beneficial to me if I'm only making this much money off each shirt and I'm not even selling as much as I was, say, in 2016, 17, 18? Because a lot of people stopped spending money. So the rare person that would spend money would end up buying like, because the t-shirts were always profitable. The t-shirts were like, hey, the t-shirt cost $6. You print it. All you're spending is the $6.
We're exposing world secrets here.
It only costs $6.
Gucci, Louis, they're gonna be pissed at you right now. And then $6.
Then I enhanced the price to like $20, $22, $30, whatever. If you wanted the premium stretchy material, it was $30, and that was profitable. It got messy when it came to crew neck hoodies, crop top hoodies, because I also felt like I shouldn't be charging like $100 a hoodie when that's literally what you have to charge on some of these things to make money off of
now
it.
we looked at some pricing, right? Yeah,
and I think it was more of a guilt thing because I was charging like $60, and really like if I charge $60 a hoodie and I'm paying $40 for it, I was only making like $20 a hoodie, and then there was like I'm paying for the hosting of the website, the hosting of Shopify, the shipping a little bit was taken out of there, plus now I have to worry about the Canadian American conversion. And at that time I was making more Canadian than American, so I was paying in Canadian. You see what all those really is?
It's still better than paying for an Indian wedding.
Yeah. But it was a lot of fuckery, but we do need to bring the merch back for sure.
We do.
I think, I'm probably knocking it by the time this drops, I'll probably already be in LA for the LAX Fan Fest. If you're in LA,
cool.
Come out there, show up June 28th, Saturday. This will be out before Saturday. But
who's some names coming?
I don't. Before that, do I drop Rhino this week or do I drop Mustafa Ali? I gotta figure that out. But Bret the Hitman Hart, Dustin Rhodes, The Godfather, X-Pac, Victoria, Rikishi, Mina Shirakawa from AEW. I got Ariane Andrews to come. There might still be some people popping in last minute, but
Cora Jade?
Ethan Carter's there. You said Cora Jade,
yeah.
And I was thinking Ethan Carter, so I said Ethan Cade. but not Cora Jade. She won't be there.
I'm getting internet hate for being called a pervert because I predicted that she'd get her
OnlyFans, and she got one, and it's good. Good business for her. Make money.
Yeah, good for her.
So listen, they put bikini pictures out on social media for free. If they can make a couple of bucks off of selling bikini pictures behind a paywall, you get this one picture for free, but if you want to see the other 6, you got to pay for it.
And if you guys listen to our...
Because it's the real suckers are the people that pay for it.
Yeah. Well, if you watched our Just Up Yapping episode that we recorded, you'll discover that Justin has an OnlyFans page too.
But also, I think it's a good business for them, and I think we'll get back to LAX Fan Fest, but come if you're there June 28th. It's at the... it's near LAX, the address and everything. It's on I think it's Century Plaza Boulevard or something like that. But it's all on my Instagram and all that stuff. So make sure you guys check it out. But back to the Cora Jade and the OnlyFans thing. I don't see anything wrong with it. If they can make money off it, then why not?
The way the world's in now, do whatever it takes, I guess.
Use that popularity that you got from WWE and stuff and turn it into another money thing. And
it's all business.
There's people out there that want it, and I know that, right? built my page off of a lot of the women that cooperated with me to build my page, to post them and post their stuff. And I know we all know how it works. Let me ask you this before we talk about this whole John Cena Pipebomb thing. I know you didn't see the clips. I probably should have showed them to you earlier and stuff. But how do you feel about someone leaving WWE, going back to the indies, which is totally fine, but then doing like that crazy deathmatch stuff, like pine needles in the head and chair shots to the head?
Did I miss something here?
And like people being thrown in barbed wire and stuff. Because both Elena Black and Shotzi Blackheart worked GCW last night.
Is that what they did?
And they went into like deathmatch hardcore wrestling.
Okay, so
Because I want to hear your thoughts.
a death match is fine.
Yeah, I'm nothing against deathmatch wrestling.
No,
It's not my favorite genre.
Yeah.
I don't like it, but it is a genre. I don't hate it either. It's just not for me.
Once a year, a death match is fine. That's just my perspective on it. Every week or a whole show dedicated death match, I think that's too much.
But if you just left the WWE system, and don't get me wrong, you don't think you're gonna get called back right away or anything like that. Like, do you think, hey, like, I don't need to do this anymore. I don't need, like, it's different if they want to do it. If you want to do it, all to, if you got a fat paycheck for it, never gonna get in the way of anybody's money. I actually have no judgment in this, but this is a conversation I had with other people, so I'm just curious what your thoughts were, because it's like, you just left it to be like, you don't have to do this.
Well,
you don't need the cheap pop. You don't need the cheap thrill.
I think it all depends on age. Cora's young, right? Shotzi's
24.
pretty young.
I'm not sure, but
yeah.
probably pretty young.
So if your body can handle it,
I'm not gonna guess a woman's age.
yeah. So if your body can handle it, then I guess I would. But depending on how big of a star was,
And it's just like, is it necessary?
Cora was just NXT though,
Yeah,
right?
but she's got a fan base.
She's
And
got a
it's
fan
like-
base, but
and
what's the paycheck like though?
But her
We
fan
don't know
base
that.
is like the wrestling fan base, and when you're working these indie wrestling shows, you're catering to the wrestling fan base. You're not catering to the casual fan, anyways. So why, like, are people doing this because they want the approval of this fan base? Do they think it'll get them further and more bookings, or do they want to do it and they miss doing it? And they're like, hey, I couldn't do this while I was in WWE. I'm gonna do this now. Like, I just don't get the. And then once again, deathmatch wrestling. I don't mind it. I've enjoyed some deathmatch wrestling stuff. Shout out to Tara Zepp. Shout out to old Mick Foley, Terry Funk stuff that I used to watch.
Yeah, that was
growing
good.
up. Shout out to some of the stuff I saw in Japan back in the day. And I was like FMW. I'm like, whoa, what is this? The ring's exploding. Like,
Shout out to AEW, John Moxley versus
Yeah.
Kenny Omega. Those
like
fireworks.
there's
The sparklers.
an appeal
Scared
to
the
it.
shit out of me.
There's an appeal to it, and I like one on a card or something and stuff like that. So it's not against deathmatch wrestling. It's not my favorite genre. It's not my favorite style of wrestling, but I have nothing against it. But it's just like, if you were already established, you just came off a WWE run, do you need that adulation and acceptance from the fans to like put your body through this deathmatch stuff if it's not really
I don't
necessary?
think it's really an acceptance. I would just, maybe because I'm older too now, it's all business.
Yeah,
I'm doing
I'm
I'm
that's what I
doing it
said.
for the paycheck.
It depends. Are they getting paid more for it or not? Are you worried about getting booked again?
I mean, I don't know the exact details, but I'm sure you can figure out what an NXT roster
Because
person
I
makes.
can tell you that company that she did it at doesn't always pay everybody that great. It's not like but it's known for this kind of wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, is it important to get clips to go viral?
Well, some money
social
at this
media?
point is better than no money.
I know, but is it important to go viral on social media? Is that the goal here? Is like
I think
to
once,
get some buzz on
once you
social
leave WWE, that's the whole thing, right?
media? To stay relevant.
You have to stay relevant. How else are you going to come back if you want to go back? Or
But do you think WWE's sitting there being like, oh look, she left here and now look what she's doing?
WWE's at a whole different place now. I don't think they're bothered by too much. People can go in and out. They've got, like, look at Fanatic Fest. We're watching that right now.
FOMO. I'll be there
Yeah,
next
we
year.
should have been there.
Yeah.
But who isn't walking out to a WWE entrance? Tom Brady, Eli Manning, all these.
DJ Khaled.
Yeah, I don't know what they're called, podcasters or
The
streamers,
like,
Twitchers.
iShow Speed and stuff.
Yeah, so it's all wrestling related. So how's our old camera?
Which we probably should be. This is not even a camera.
The trouble.
This is not even a camera you're supposed to look into. I'm like looking into like
The
some
trouble
OG
this camera has given us.
Like the quality on our iPhones is just
Way better.
like this is, you know what this is cool for?
What are you showing right now?
This is cool for like a home movie, like, you know, your kid's birthday
Yeah,
party.
like 1996.
Yeah, yeah.
And we were dumb enough to buy them.
And we're like, oh yeah, like we got an old '90s camcorder for nostalgia.
Well, that's, by the way, if anyone doesn't know, we don't really have a producer that manages our shows, so
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
we're
winging it, so support us. So
yeah,
like,
we're not really
subscribe,
tech savvy,
follow.
right? Tony Khan, man, I'll sell out.
Shout out to
Sponsor us.
25K on YouTube finally.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
I know, and this is the thing, right? Like, I don't want to make it sound like a big deal, but I was at 5K just in 2023. So
And I showed up at 20.
Yeah.
So I had some contribution.
Yeah, and there's been a consistency, and I learned to focus on it, which I should have known better, because that's the reason my Instagram grew, is because I really focused on it, and there's consistency. But yeah, Fanatic Fest, I wish I was there. Hopefully we'll be there next year. See a lot of familiar faces and people that I know that are there.
We're gonna manifest
people like
it.
LeBron James who used to follow my page, or people like Gary Vee who still follows me on Twitter and I used to work for, and has been a former guest on Casual Conversations, which you can check out, and obviously all the wrestlers.
Yeah.
All the peeps.
It'll be fun. But we might have a fun New York, New Jersey journey soon.
Hopefully, as long as we're not in a war.
Nothing to laugh about, man. You might be entering that war.
You know, if I laugh, why would I be entering it? You're entering it, man.
No, I'd go.
No, I'm like off the
War
radar.
might be easier
I'm
than
like
paying my
off the.
bills.
They're gonna look at my resume and be like, "Wow, this guy's been working since 2019. We can't send him to war."
Our resumes are weak,
He's
right?
not a,
When it comes to
he's
fighting
not a
battles,
he's not a hard-working, law-abiding citizen.
they're gonna look at us and be like, man, I don't know.
We can't get this guy to drive tanks. He lost his license like 6 times.
Yeah, this guy wakes up pretty late.
Yeah.
Goes
to sleep really late.
Sells wrestling toys. What the hell is he gonna do for us? Told you, right? If we were going to war with the opposition, we'd probably just start singing some sentimental music, right? Some Quali music, and be like, "Hey, guys, let's all just get along. You got a guitar, buddy? You got some drums? You got a violin? Let's jam out."
We'll be vibing, dude.
Yeah. Probably just throw everyone on shrooms and some THC.
I think everything will be sorted. We have way too much in place in society today for things not to be sorted. But this isn't just yapping. We're not here to talk about war in NATO, in the US.
Let's talk about the good stuff.
Yeah.
John Cena.
Talk about the real war that matters. Yeah. The war happening in Saudi. John Cena versus CM Punk.
The best heel promo, I think 99.9% of the world will agree of John Cena at this moment. This felt genuine and actually like John Cena turning heel rather than using not curse words, whatever, the words like stupid and idiotic and emphasizing them, right?
Because I think for the most part, and he's had some like decent promos against Randy, decent promos against Cody, but like a lot of the promos we've been getting from Cena are him cutting promos on the fans, and that's when it comes off corny. Yeah. I think when he has a target, that makes a difference. The Randy stuff wasn't so great because like, I don't know, they have a storied history, don't get me wrong, but it's just weird in all these situations because Cena's the bad guy, and most of the time Randy was the bad guy. Well, Punk was the bad guy.
Said, they had history, but not a lot of trash talking or going at each other unless it was a main event. It's not like backstage they were jumping each other or beating each other up.
Yeah, they didn't have rivalry. They didn't have a verbal rivalry. No, it was. I mean, Orton and Cena. It was never like a verbal thing back and forth. There was a physical battles, trying to one up each other, competitive thing. Where Cena and Punk, a lot of people's memories, I mean, don't get me wrong, the matches were great, Money in the Bank, some stuff, the Raw, before WrestleMania 38, I think, or 9, whoa, wait, I jumped way ahead, WrestleMania 29, but like, it was always a verbal thing.
Yeah.
It was the promos against each other. People remember the promo. Clearly people remember the promos because everyone remembers the pipe bomb, and they used it in this thing, and I said it on WWE's post, I said it on my own post, this was the best John Cena promo of his heel run.
Well, until you said it right now, I actually it didn't even occur to me. The best promo Cena's ever cut were on the wrestlers. And all the promos he's cut right now have been on the fans, which has been very uncomfortable to listen to. Because I still say this till this day. When The Rock came back, was it 2013?
Yeah, 2011.
When he was making fun of Cena, calling him the Purple Dinosaur. I think Cena destroyed The Rock. And he wasn't even that aggressive. Or,
that's a whole different topic we can dive into, but I just think The Rock from 2011 forward was Dwayne playing The Rock. It never really hit the same. There was some promos there in 2011 that were hilarious, like the one with the little kid, and like some of them, but for the most part, Cena was just current, and Rock felt like he was coming back trying to play how would The Rock cut this promo? What would The Rock say? And it's like, it's Dwayne playing The Rock, which has been a problem with The Rock for the most part until he did this final boss thing until this year and the year last year.
How did you feel about the Punk promo? Or Cena's pipe bomb.
Like I was saying, this was Cena's best heel promo. Best promo since he turned heel. But it was inspired by CM Punk. So
which was inspired by John Cena
originally. It wasn't inspired by John Cena.
John Cena gave him the heads up. Go ahead, man. The green light was from Cena.
It was green light. That doesn't mean it was inspired. Right? Because what Punk said, right? What Cena said was literally Punk's words, but turn around. I'll say this though. It worked. Everything he said, if you were gonna diss CM Punk, this was the way to diss him.
Yeah.
Call him the ultimate bullshitter, call him a con man. Hey, you used to be Punk, you were anti-established, now you're Mr. TKO, now you're a millionaire,
It's like Cena listened to our
despite
podcast
yourself.
finally.
Yeah.
He finally listened to what I've been saying about CM Punk.
Because the one thing about current day CM Punk that you can say, and younger people like will say to me all the time, like, oh, it just doesn't feel the same because he no longer has a chip on his shoulder. He's content. He's happy to be there. He's getting paid. He's a top guy. He main evented WrestleMania. The best CM Punk is when CM Punk is mad. When CM Punk is legitimately pissed off.
Are you calling your favorite wrestler washed right now?
No, I'm just saying, like...
Content?
He's content, not washed. Like, washed is Okada, who, like, goes out there and wrestles.
Oh, AEW taking hits from the Wrestling Classic.
No, but, like, he goes out there wrestling AEW, he's getting a fat paycheck, and he doesn't care about being, like, good. And maybe he's injured, maybe his body hurts, and we're supposed to look forward to this big Kenny Omega Okada match.
Is Okada a young guy? I don't even know.
He's younger than me, I think.
Okay.
Let me double check, but...
So how you can't be washed at your age?
No, but, like, I mean, like, considering, like, anyone that has just seen, and I know we're getting off topic here, anyone that has just seen Okada, no, he's older than me, he's your age, he's 1987. Okay. But the anyone that has seen Okada wrestle back in 2016, 17, everything he did in New Japan and watched it, like, knows Okada. Anyone that just watched him as AEW run is not getting prime Okada. There hasn't been I don't care what anybody says, oh, against Pac, against this person, whatever. There's not one single Okada match in AEW that I think was good. That I'm sitting and being like, that was like incredible. Part of the problem is every match is good in AEW. Mm-hmm. There's too many good matches, so it's hard to stand out, maybe. That is a part of the problem that I won't put the blame on Okada. Yeah. But for the most part, there's nothing special about him in AEW. If you're already a fan, you're going to stay a fan. And he's funny now. Now he's making jokes. And it looks like he's having a fun time working and getting paid fat. But like he doesn't feel special. Punk still tries. Punk still tries to make his storylines interesting. The Drew stuff was good. The Seth, he hasn't had a bad storyline in WWE yet. And some of the best stuff he did in AEW was with Eddie Kingston and MJF. Like, he will try to make wrestling good still. He will try to have good matches. He still tries to. I won't say he's washed. But the thing is, he does not have a chip on his shoulder. He's not angry anymore. One of the most memorable things Punk did in AEW was that post-media scrum, eating donuts, because he was mad. Because the best CM Punk, unfortunately, is when CM Punk is partially actually mad. When he's not mad and he's like, no, I'm just chilling. No, yeah, we're having a good time. We're doing this. Like,
he's enjoying his time right now.
Yeah, and it's nice to see that, like, as a fan of his, but it's also like...
Did they do enough for the build-up for the main event?
I think so. I just don't think it should happen in Saudi. This is a personal thing because I would love to go to it. And if we were going to SummerSlam, I wish it was happening there. I get it.
Well, that's our fault for not reaching out to Saudi. Sending us there.
They're probably making bank. Punk's probably getting the fattest paycheck of ever because he probably refused to go there until they're like, $10 million.
Yeah, I don't know if it's rumors or... I'm sure it's truth. Or there's truth to it that they make more money at these Saudi shows than all of WrestleMania.
They make more money on these Saudi shows. I heard
it's like almost a $50 to $60 million.
The company makes more money. Every talent makes more money. Mm-hmm. It's
because Undertaker made $1 million. They
forced Shawn Michaels to come out of retirement for a tag team match that we do not speak about because the money was too good.
Triple H. Yeah, that's when Kane's mask fell off.
Yeah, like. That really bad match. And Sean said it. He's like, it was just the paycheck. Like it was like you couldn't deny getting paid $3 million for one match. Like,
Goldberg and Undertaker. Yeah, that match happened too, right?
You know what I'm trying to say? So I don't know. The Saudi money is insane, right? So that's part of it. So you can call CM Punk a hypocrite, and they can use it in the storyline where it makes sense because it does.
No, who called him a hypocrite?
Cena. That's the whole point of the promos. You're a hypocrite.
Well, I thought you were calling him a
hypocrite. You're a capitalist now.
You're just
you're not a punk. No, he's not a hypocrite.
Well, he's selling out for business.
Listen, and the same thing I said about OnlyFans earlier. The same thing I said about doing that deathmatch wrestling. If you are getting paid fat for it, I will let it slide. And if you are a wrestling fan that doesn't understand how bills and living works, and mortgages and interest rates, then don't talk about people selling out for money.
Yeah, let me know if you guys want a course on living expenses.
Yeah, until you are like married with children, I like understand. I worked at the bank for years, so I've seen it from the inside, like how expensive life is. It doesn't matter what job
you get older.
Your highest paid celebrities probably blow through because this is the other problem. The more money you make, the higher your expenses get. Yeah. And the more expensive stuff you have, the more your payments are because you have more money and you're like, all right, cool.
I know this has nothing to do with wrestling now, but let me tell you, to make $150,000 a year and be a wrestler and for people to think, oh, this is the life I want to live, you got to pay for your own hotel. You got to pay for your own food. You got to pay for your own travel sometimes, rental.
The house you actually live in that you're only spending like 2 days a week at.
And 150,000, that's still pre-tax.
Who knows about car payments, phone payments, you know, clothes, and like just enjoying life like regularly.
So any future wrestlers, just think of all that.
Money. So
that
like
comes into it.
Anytime someone's like, oh, he went back because of money, or like
I go back for the money.
Not even just Punk, anybody. Like he did.
Need to.
They went to Saudi. Everyone knows it's a bad place.
And
people will trade in their integrity for happy living.
I don't know where Cardona did his interview, but he said it. He's like, when he left WWE the first, or he got let go, right? Or whatever the reason was. He said he was making more money on the indies. And he was on the main roster, just to put that in perspective.
Some of these girls that left WWE now that got fired that were just in NXT are probably making more money on OnlyFans than they were making monthly working on NXT.
Yeah.
Some of them are probably making more money on the indies than they're getting on NXT. The main roster people make a little bit more money, don't get me wrong, but even them, like...
And it's just hard now. Like, you gotta live, you gotta eat, you gotta survive.
And I always say this about wrestlers, right? I know we're so off topic, but the Pipebomb was good. It was the best Cena promo thus far.
Yeah, it was.
I enjoyed it.
It just sucks it's a 10 a.m.
It's just funny. Both of them, Cena did it for Punk, and now Punk did it for Cena. Where it's like, all right, you got put through a table. Like, you're taking a long-ass power nap to listen to this whole thing. One thing that really took me out of it was when he said motherfudging. I talked to the USA Network about that. I'm like, how much trouble would we really have gotten if he said motherfucking? And they're like, yeah, he's John Cena, you probably really got away with it. Because everything was good. He even said bullshitter. He called out Cardona, Nick Nemeth, and Claudio.
Is he friends with them?
Yeah, he is. Seth Rollins revealed in an interview recently that like they have a group chat of just him, Claudio.
Oh, the coffee shop
talking about coffee. So obviously he's so tight with Claudio, and I think he's always respected Zack Ryder and Dolph Ziggler. He he's always been like those guys are workhorses and shit. Yeah. So
and they shared the same wife.
Who?
Dolph and him, didn't they?
Yeah. No, the same ex-girlfriend,
fiance, or
whatever. It happens. But I thought it was a great promo. The only thing that the thing is this, right? And this is why people like. There are people that like, oh, wasn't that great? Like, didn't it feel a little off with you? It was because you knew. Like, I popped, and I even told someone after when I messaged them, I was like, I was getting burnt out in that third hour. I was totally not invested by the time we got to Cena and Ron Killings. And it's so funny. Coincidentally, what time are we at? Because coincidentally, we're going to wrap this
22 minutes.
When
you could have just looked straight.
I can't see that far. My glasses off.
Okay.
When Punk, that's what I look at this one. When Punk first dropped the pipe bomb, this is such fuck coincidence that I just picked up. The feud that was happening in WWE was R-Truth versus John Cena. And they wrestled the capital punishment. And the weapon of choice was a water bottle. And that shit pissed me off. And that's when I was like, man, I hate Cena, man. It's because he got knocked out by a water ball. Like, someone can hit me with a water ball right now. I'm not going to fall to the ground. Like, this isn't like... I know we suspend our disbelief for title belts and stuff like that. But, like, a water bottle... Like, what are we doing? And he was fighting R-Truth. Which is a coincidence because he was fighting R-Truth. Yeah. And then Punk came out and cut a pipe bomb right after that, because from Capital Punishment we're going into Money in the Bank, and all the parallels. Cena said he's going to leave with the belt in 6 months, and Ruin Wrestling, CM Punk said he's going to leave with the belt and not
long-term
sign.
Storytelling.
Like, it all made sense. So like, it was trippy because I'm like, okay, the match went DQ, Punk came out to the save, he took out Punk, I'm like, oh, he's a stand up. Then he pulled out a table, I'm like, oh, okay, he's going to add, insult to injury. And then when Punk was laying there, it hit me right away. I'm like, oh, he's gonna reverse pipe bomb him.
Yeah.
It just my creative mind was like, holy shit, this is brilliant. I was actually live tweeting for SmackDown for the first time in like 5 years, and I was like, oh my god, this is fucking bloody brilliant. Like, he's gonna reverse pipe bomb him right now. And like, and
it was very well done.
And they did the whole promo about
Punk lied there like Cena the whole time.
That's him taking his power nap. And I was like, it's so funny because like they did that whole video package that I thought was really well done about the yin and yang and how they switch side and stuff and all that. And I'm like, oh, like he's gonna reverse Uno pipe bomb this guy right now. So the problem is the fact that his basis of the promo was based off of Punk's pipe bomb. So he can only really say so much to keep it on that track. And anyone that knows anything knows, like, if you were there in 2011, which I was, because we are fucking old, and we weren't like 4 or 5 years old when the pipe bomb happened. I was like 2011. I was like 18, 19 years old. Like, that makes you like 24, 25. Like like we were full adults when this shit was happening. That like it is so cool for people like us to be like, oh, they're calling it back. Again, yeah. For some of you, might be like, you might just know it based off of seeing YouTube and like not living through it and being like, oh, he's just ripping off the promo. Like, why is that so great? Like, if you were there in real time, like that was a moment in wrestling where wrestling was so fucking like not good that we went to school the next day and people were like, hey,
I wasn't in school.
Oh, we're not school.
But when it ended, I was doubting. I'm like, was this for real?
Yeah, and I had friends hitting, not in school, but I had friends hitting me up like, yo, was that CM Punk shit legit? Like he said when Vince McMahon
I thought he was going to leave with the title too.
Yeah, yo, is this like legitimate? Like he's talking shit about Triple H and Stephanie. Like he brought up Make-A-Wish and Be a Star. Like and it was on World Star, which was really popular in 2011. Like if you were on World Star, I was like, oh shit. Like,
World Star.
It was like the new like Shade Room and Complex and shit. Like World Star was the one back then.
No idea what that is.
So it's like, it was a big deal, and I've millions of times in Ultimate Bias have said, if Punk didn't drop the pipe bomb, I don't know if I would have got back into wrestling as hard as I did in 2011, because I was really in and out of it 2007, 2011, post Benoit till the pipe bomb. Like I was like, I watched it Monday.
He was big reason why, like, whatever fans that were still watching WWE, that Punk was still around. Because in his feuds, The Rock, The Undertaker.
Yeah, and he was the first guy to really, like, for a minute, and that's why even when I love Orton and Punk are both in my top 10, which is a big deal.
Straight Edge was just before all that, right?
It was, but it was just...
but that Punk was okay.
That Punk was cool too, but I just...
No, it wasn't as good.
This Punk, this cult leader, I'm gonna leave, anti-establishment Punk was the best, and that run was the best, and Cena needed someone to go after him like Punk went after him. And to actually beat him at Money in the Bank and then beat him at SummerSlam, I was like, oh, whoa.
Listen, we know you're a Punk guy.
So that whole point, my whole point is when Cena started doing it back, there was a part of it that was like nostalgia, like, oh, this is great. Because I know the lines. I recite them random. I don't know how many times a day I'd randomly say to people that I'm the best in the world, I've been the best in the world since day one, and everybody knows it because of that goddamn promo. And the only thing you're good at is kissing Vince McMahon's ass.
It's funny because all I'd ever say, I'm chain gang for life. People wouldn't even know. I just do something and drop chain gang for life.
I could be talking to my friends while shows are on, talking to Dan Marston or somebody on the phone, and if I start saying they'll be like, oh my god, here he goes. The best in the world. Like, kids remember that promo beat for beat, and that's very rare. Yeah. There's not many Stone Cold promos besides the Austin 316 one that people remember beat for beat, right? Like, that's how iconic that promo was, and I think John Cena did a great job with the reverse thing. There's only so much he could do with it because it had to stay on track of the Punk promo, and it did. Because everything Punk said, now you fast forward, and it's like, dude, you were the underdog, now you're the capitalist. Yeah. You want to be on the covers and stuff, now you are. You're a hypocrite. Now you're going to Saudi, a place you said you would never go to wrestle me.
As grown adults, it is cool to look back and see everything we saw and now see it again and relate to the whole nostalgic moments that we
once again, right? Like we were old enough in 2011 when that first pipe bomb dropped to watch this one and be like,
because I wasn't old enough to watch I was. But I don't remember the NWO forming that day. I only watched it on YouTube, right?
I know what happened. I know what NWO was happening. My earliest memories of like that era Sting coming from the rafters, seeing that live, but the actual formation of the NWO, I don't remember watching Bash on the Beach like that. The actual Austin 316 promo, I don't really remember watching it live like that.
Yeah.
I know everything that happened after it, but we were there for the Punk thing, you know what I mean? So it's a little bit different. We were there when Randy Orton punted Vince McMahon. There was some highlights there in those years, right? Like,
it was good promo, so let's see how the match ends. Yeah, it's going to be a kick to the nuts by Cena, and then that's it.
And then there's also the whole thing, they played up at Fanatics Fest.
Because Cena ain't losing in Saudi.
Yeah, there's a whole thing that Seth could still get in the mix of this and mess things up for Punk.
No, Saudis ain't going to... They pay for the results. And they want...
They don't care.
No, they care.
They don't care.
They want Cena to win.
They don't care.
Need Cena to win.
All they care about in Saudi is that the women are fully covered when they wrestle. In their power
Asia, is Saudi part of Asia? Would it be considered Asia?
It's all they care
about is John Cena. They want to see John Cena. They're going to see John Cena win.
I'm surprised Goldberg's not in Saudi, but Goldberg wants to retire in Atlanta.
So he's already gone, right?
Yeah, and he wants to retire in Atlanta. He's from Atlanta. And that's Saturday main event in Atlanta.
So he's going to lose to Gunther.
He's going to lose to Gunther in his last match.
What if he wins?
That's not his last
match.
Seth
cashes in.
Yeah. What if Seth cashes in on Gunther and Goldberg?
That'd be cool. And that way...
Because as much as I can say Seth could screw Punk...
Because I feel Goldberg doesn't want to go out losing.
Punk, Cena did have a point about Seth is not going to cash in on me. Because why would he? Like, doesn't make sense. He wants to ruin wrestling too. Like, You know? Maybe. But anyways, that's the TWC Show this week. Went a little bit over. Hope you guys tell us what you guys felt about the John Cena pipe bomb on CM Punk. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. It got me more hyped for the match. And once again, like, it just made me pop. I was like, I knew the moment he was in the table laying there, as uncomfortable as he possibly could be, and Cena sat on the ropes. I'm like, oh, we're getting reverse pipe bomb, and this is one of my favorite moments in wrestling. Like, I don't always comment on WWE's page after SmackDowns. I was like in the comment section, like, yo,
the real account or burner account?
Like the real account. Like I was on their comment section, like, this is fantastic. Views about to go up. You know, and I had some haters messaging me like, yo, I don't think it was that great. I'm like, I get it. Because there's part of me too. I'm like, it wasn't that great, but it was great for me. And it did take me on when he said mother fudging.
And the only thing I
say motherfucking, bro. Just say it. Fuck you. No. Fuck you, John Cena. Shout out Mercedes. She got 6 belts now.
Oh my god.
6 belts, baby. Woo.
She got something else too.
6 belts, baby.
No, she's got something else.
Money. Nah.
Something else.
Nah.
You know what I'm talking
about. What? A beast? Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah.
Mortos?
Yeah. But yeah, and if there's any local, what would they be called, producers that want to work with us.
You want to get us a studio and produce this show and help us out? We greatly appreciate it.
Jaden is nowhere to be found today, so.
He said he'll come after work, but I'm supposed to be at an ASW wrestling show right now. Shout out to Thunder from Jalandhar. Yeah, I apologize if I didn't make it and you see this. This is why I didn't make it. We're late, but yeah.
But no, wrestling's good right now again.
It's a good time. I'm still a little burnt out. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still a little burnt out from wrestling. I have no, like, it's really hard for me to be like, man, Raw's on. Can't wait to sit there for 3 hours.
I know we talked about the
But when shit's good, it's good.
But this SmackDown, I did even enjoy that little segment with all 4 of the King of the Ring participants. It was good.
This SmackDown was good.
Yeah.
This SmackDown was good. I just got, once again, 3 hours is long.
Yeah.
That's all it is. But it's 3 hours sitting in the same spot watching something is long. I got burnt out. I wish it was like an hour break or something. But
yeah. And then Tony Khan, if you're watching this, we're still waiting. I'll sell out.
Tony Khan, if you need any toys, you know who to hit up.
Yeah. And if you're WWE wrestlers, let us know. You may not be able to sign them, but you can buy them.
Right? Yeah. RainCityToys.com. That's the plug. Keep doing the thing. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Appreciate you all. And yeah, we'll see you all next time. Dig it.